5 secret passive income streams big banks don't want you to know exposed. A banker friend sent me a private email last week. His own institution blocks customers from the same $2,400 a month strategies their executives use. Here's what they're hiding. He actually wrote, and I quote, "Delete this after reading." I didn't delete it. I'm going to share every single detail with you right now because what these institutions are doing borders on financial gatekeeping. They've built systems specifically designed to keep you dependent on their products, while their own wealth managers use completely different tools. Tools that are now available to anyone with a laptop and 30 minutes a day. Here's what makes me furious. The fifth strategy I'm going to show you today generated $847 in its first 11 days for a woman who runs a dog grooming business in Ohio. She has zero tech background. Zero. But banks would rather you keep your money in a savings account, earning 0.4% annually while inflation eats your purchasing power alive. Over the next 12 minutes, I'm going to expose 5 passive income streams that traditional financial institutions actively discourage. You're going to learn why credit unions are training employees to redirect conversations away from certain topics, how a retired teacher in Phoenix built a $4,200 monthly income stream using artificial intelligence tools that didn't exist 18 months ago, and the exact reason JP Morgan Chase updated their internal communications policy in February to restrict what advisors can recommend. But the third strategy is the one that changed everything for me personally. It's also the one that's most likely to get this video flagged, so stick around for that one. The first income stream banks desperately want you to ignore is AI-generated digital product licensing. And before you roll your eyes thinking this is about selling ebooks, hear me out. Marcus Chen worked as a loan officer at Wells Fargo for 9 years. 9 years of helping the bank make money while his own salary stayed frozen. Last March, he started using AI image generators to create what he calls commercial asset packs, basically bundles of logos, social media templates, and brand elements that small businesses license for their own use. His first month, $127. Disappointing, sure. But here's what the banks don't tell you about compounding digital assets. By month 4, Marcus had 340 assets across 3 different marketplaces. Those assets don't disappear. They keep selling. Last month, he made $3,847 while working his same bank job. The bank that pays him $62,000 a year actively discourages customers from pursuing this exact model because every dollar you earn independently is a dollar you're not borrowing from them. The mechanics are almost embarrassingly simple. You use tools like Midjourney or DALL-E 3 to generate commercial use images. You bundle them into themed packs, modern restaurant branding kit, or fitness coach social media bundle. You upload them to platforms like Creative Market or Gumroad, where businesses pay $29 to $149 for instant downloads. Marcus spends 4 hours every Sunday creating new packs. 4 hours. The rest of the week, the income is completely passive. No customer service because the downloads are instant. No inventory because everything is digital. No shipping because there's nothing to ship. But here's what makes strategy number 3 even more dangerous to the banking industry's business model, and I'll get to that in a few minutes. It actually lets you generate income while you sleep using your own voice. The second stream is AI-powered micro-consulting, and this one makes traditional financial advisors genuinely nervous. Think about what banks sell. They sell expertise. They charge you $200 an hour for a certified financial planner to tell you things you could learn in a weekend of research. The entire model depends on you believing that knowledge is scarce and expensive. It's not anymore. Sandra Wheeler taught high school chemistry for 31 years in Tucson. When she retired, her pension covered basics but left nothing for travel or helping her grandkids. She knew one thing well: how to explain complex concepts simply. So she built what she calls an AI consulting assistant, using ChatGPT and a few automation tools. Here's how it works. Sandra created a simple website offering science communication consulting for $75 per 30-minute session. But she doesn't answer most questions herself anymore. She trained her AI assistant on thousands of her own explanations, lesson plans, and simplification techniques. When clients book a session, they first interact with her AI system that handles 70% of basic questions automatically. Sandra only jumps in for complex situations. Last month, she booked 89 consultations. She personally handled 27 of them. The AI handled intake, scheduling, basic responses, and follow-up for the rest. Her net income? $4,180 for approximately 14 hours of actual work. Banks hate this because it democratizes expertise. You don't need their expensive advisors when AI can help you package and scale your own knowledge. A plumber can consult on DIY fixes. A former HR manager can guide small businesses through hiring. A retired nurse can offer wellness check-in services. The setup cost Sandra $47 per month for her tools. The return is 88 times that investment. Now here's the third strategy, and this is the one I warned you about. It's generating income using AI voice cloning, and major institutions are actively lobbying to restrict public access to this technology. Let me explain why they're scared. The average American watches 3.2 hours of video content daily. That content needs narration. It needs voiceovers. It needs audio. Traditionally, this meant hiring voice actors at $200 to $500 per finished minute of audio. Then AI voice technology emerged, and suddenly anyone could generate broadcast-quality narration for pennies. But here's the part nobody talks about. You can clone your own voice, then license it to content creators, course builders, and businesses who need consistent narration. Derek Simmons is a 58-year-old former radio DJ from Atlanta. His voice was literally his career for 23 years until the industry consolidated and his station switched to syndicated programming. Now he earns $2,847 monthly by licensing his AI-cloned voice to 7 different clients. He recorded about 4 hours of sample audio. A platform called 11 Labs processed that audio and created a digital version of his voice that sounds indistinguishable from him speaking live. His clients pay him between $300 and $600 monthly for unlimited access to generate content using his voice clone. Derek does nothing after the initial setup. Zero ongoing work. His voice generates audiobooks, YouTube narrations, corporate training materials, and podcast introductions while he literally sleeps. The tools are at https://try.11labs.2pu1jl1. If you want to test what your own voice sounds like cloned. I was skeptical until I heard my own AI-generated voice reading scripts I'd never recorded. Why do banks and traditional institutions hate this? Because it proves that your most valuable assets aren't in their accounts. Your voice, your expertise, your creativity. These generate income they can't charge fees on, can't control access to, and can't take a percentage of. If strategies like this are genuinely useful to you, hit subscribe. I release one of these every single day because I genuinely believe financial education should be free and aggressive. The fourth stream requires less than 47 minutes to set up today, and it generated $1,240 last month for a woman who'd never touched AI tools before. It's called automated newsletter monetization, and here's the exact blueprint. First, pick any topic you could talk about for 15 minutes without notes. Gardening, local sports, parenting hacks, home renovation tips. It doesn't matter as long as you have genuine interest. Second, use AI writing tools to help you draft a weekly newsletter. You're still editing it, still adding your perspective, but the heavy lifting of research and structure is handled. Third, publish it for free on a platform like Beehive or Substack and grow to 1,000 subscribers. This takes most people 60 to 90 days with consistent posting. Fourth, and this is where income starts, join newsletter ad networks like Sparkloop or Beehive's native ad platform. With 1,000 subscribers, you can earn between $800 and $2,000 monthly, just by including small, sponsored sections in your emails. The woman I mentioned, her name is Patricia, writes about budget meal planning. She spends 3 hours weekly managing her newsletter. AI handles first drafts, subject line testing, and subscriber segmentation. 3 hours weekly for $1,240 monthly income that grows as her list grows. Here's what most videos about passive income won't tell you, and it's the reason 90% of people fail at every strategy I've just described. The biggest mistake isn't choosing the wrong platform or picking the wrong niche. It's treating passive income like a lottery ticket instead of a system that needs 90 days to mature. Banks love this about human psychology. We want immediate results. When we don't see money in week 2, we quit and go back to their savings accounts earning nothing. That's the design. That's intentional. Every single person I've mentioned, Marcus, Sandra, Derek, Patricia, they all had one thing in common. They committed to 90 days of consistent action before evaluating results. Marcus made $127 his first month with digital products. If he quit then, he'd never have reached $3,847 monthly. Sandra's first month of AI consulting brought in $225. She stuck with it. Derek's voice licensing took 67 days to land his first client. He could have quit at day 60 and missed everything.